Taylor Moore, wide receiver and DB.
Sadiq Hinton, corner, return back.
Brian Jewell, O-line.
Thomas Beeman, O-line.
Noah Kim, quarterback.
Artis St. Germain, O-line.
Dylan Wanstead, linebacker.
Michael Patterson, O-line.
Nolan Cochran, defensive line. Welcome to Westfield High School, home of the Free Pete, and this is the Rebel Run Sports Show.
Thanks for the intro, guys. I'm John Moore, joined as always with Rob G and Papa. Football's officially over now. We're in the swing of basketball. We're at Westfield High School.
Yeah.
Home of the three-time, they're running out of banner space back here.
Well, we asked Coach about that. They'll figure it out.
They'll definitely figure it out.
Terry told she's like a jeweler at this point.
No.
It's crazy, man.
I got to get on this staff. How come I haven't thought of this yet?
I think you probably did think of it, but Coach Simmons, there's no chance that he's letting you on this staff.
I have to get on this staff.
Keating's there, he will tell him no.
I'll play Coach Keating in basketball to get on the staff.
I'll pay, you know what? Hold on. Okay. Before we get started, John wants to run a 400, swears he can do it in under a minute.
I can do it. Well, okay. I think we hedged that to a minute 30. after staring at the record holders out there.
We can hedge it to 3, all right?
I can run it in 3 minutes.
We'll see.
Come on.
Becerra back. Birthday celebration over.
Uh-huh.
He's in one piece?
He's in one piece.
More than I can say for John this morning?
I'm not. I was a little hurt. A little hurt this morning. Libations of last evening.
You could say.
Holiday parties will get you.
No, holiday parties will get you.
Holiday parties get me every time.
Yeah.
Well, I was back at, the mayor of Reston returned to Reston last week.
That's what I understand.
South Lakes High School.
Do you have a parking spot there?
I don't need one. They copter me in.
There you go.
They fly me in. I have a helipad on top of the school.
Excellent.
Good basketball team out there.
They do.
They do. They played Fairfax, our alma mater.
Yeah.
Fairfax has got some talent on their team.
They got a couple guys that can go.
They do.
Yeah.
Game was back and forth. South Lakes never really was, they weren't really trailing or anything. They were in control of the game, but it was competitive. Mm-hmm. The final score was 50-40. The big man Emmanuel, who's going to Shepherd College.
He's a force.
He is, first of all, his warm-ups are something to watch.
Yeah.
He's got serious hops. A lot of times you see guys that size. I mean, he's a grown man. We say that a lot. You get down there, you stand next to him, you're like, that's literally a grown man.
No, I'm not standing next to him.
You don't want to.
I'll go on the first step of the bleachers.
No, you don't want to.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a legit 6'4", solid 6'4", 6'5". He's like Charles Barkley size.
I was just about to say that.
He's like Charles Barkley size. Yeah. And the way Charles Barkley used to jump his explosion before he was 400-pound Charles Barkley, this kid has it.
He does, and I saw the play where he got the ball right around half court.
Yeah.
There was no chance he was giving that up.
No chance. No chance.
Yeah.
He's a Shepherd College commit. They were in there watching. Took a hard fall.
Yeah.
Hit his head. Came right back.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah, very tough guy.
I felt bad for the floor.
I'm telling you, it was loud. It made me jump out my chair. But 50-40 was the final score there. Yeah, and we're sending our best wishes to Cam Savage, who had an injury that we're not sure exactly where it is, but, hope he bounces back from it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'll pray for them. So where were you at this week, Robbie?
So I got out to Centerville the other day. Centerville, Jefferson was playing at Centerville. Jefferson, that was the first time we've seen them in an athletic game.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How'd they make out?
All right, well, first let me say this. Centerville has a dude, Bryce Douglas. That dude is a scorer. He's impressive to watch. Also, the Centerville student section for basketball games are ruthless,
is that right?
Relentless, and I love every minute of it. Every minute of it. It's awesome. These guys, they were crushing the players during they were relentless on them. They were warming up, with the ref.
No.
It's hilarious.
No, that's great.
It's hilarious. But TJ's got a player named Noah Barnes.
Yeah.
That guy can go. I don't care where he plays. That guy can go. 17 points in the game. That he's tremendous to watch too. Bryce Douglas, 19 points, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, Dude is really good. They got another guy, Caleb Brooks. He went for 10. But that student section, I'm telling you, that's what stood out to me more than anything was that student section. But Centerville's going to be good. They got guys who can go. They got guys who can score. Man, they're going to be a tough out. But TJ also has a player, a point guard named Matt Marabajak. Dude looks like he had the best coaching in the world from a young age.
Is that right?
Yeah, he looks like probably when he was 7, 8 years old, may have had the best coach ever coaching him. That's just what it looks like to me. I don't know. That's just what it looks like to me. But that guy, he's really good too. He had a couple of really impressive plays. But yeah, the TJ, tough. You know, they were up in the first quarter. After that they scored 18 in the first quarter. They scored 24 the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Can't do that against Centerville. They're gonna kill you because Bryce Douglas is fire when he's good.
Now I got to go to Centerville.
You got to.
I got to check it out.
You should.
Well, we're here at Westfield, where champions are constantly crowned.
You could say that.
And we had a chance to sit down with some of those champions today.
Nolan Cockrell, just a monster.
Yep.
Taylor Morin, Noah Kim, and the great Kyle Simmons.
That's right. Take a look.
Yep.
All right, walk us through the season. You guys started the season off, big win against Lake Braddock, then you had a tough game against South County. Kind of take us through it.
The first game, early on I had interception on the first pass, and so I had a lot of, nerves going through my body, but then the coaches and all the players, they were like, "You're gonna be okay. You just gotta keep playing." And we did that and ended up winning. And South County game was pretty tough. It was a defensive game, and it's been like that all season. But we had to do our part and ended up getting the win at the end.
So I feel like earlier on in the season, our offense wasn't as complex as it was towards the end of the season. I mean, that's for all the teams around here. So we started off, we were very simple, very one-dimensional. Then each game we started building on it, as well as we did that as well on defense. So each game we just build on it, and by the time we get to the playoffs, we're playing our best football.
Definitely coming into the season playing Lake Braddock and South County right off the bat. That was kind of like two very talented teams. So, we're still trying to figure out, put kids in the right positions that are going to make plays come game time. You can never really know. And just fought through and got the victories in the first two games. And that was really big, I feel, for our whole season.
So this question is more for you, too. You have a sophomore coming in as the quarterback who's, really the leader of the team. How was that adjustment going from the two previous, senior leadership quarterbacks that you had to go into a sophomore coming in?
We weren't worried. We knew he was going to get the job done. We knew, so seeing him as a freshman, he did a phenomenal job. So.
Yeah, Noah shows some maturity for being super young, and he's definitely he can make big plays, and we all trust him to make big plays, get us the ball, and so we fall back on him for.
All right, Noah, you're a sophomore. You threw for almost 2,400 yards, 29 touchdowns. You rushed for 443 yards, another 12 touchdowns. Was that your expectation this year? And you won a state championship.
I didn't really have any expectations coming into the season. I just wanted to, do my part with the team and, try to help us win the championship. I wasn't really looking for personal stats. I couldn't have done it without these two guys right here and my O-line and the rest of the team. So.
Now, when you guys walk onto the field, you're staring at your opponent. You're an imposing guy, right? Is there a feeling, do you get the feeling from, sometimes when teams are so good for so long, the other teams, some of them are almost defeated when they get on the field. You feel like you have an advantage because you're Westfield, you guys know the preparation you put into the game and how good you are?
It would be nice to think that, but we can't think that because any team can get beaten any given day, and so we keep in mind that that there's always a chance of losing, and so the whole week of practice we have to know that we have to work just as hard as for every game, and just to get that win. And, every team just wants to beat us because we win, and so we just keep that in mind.
Absolutely, I feel like we gotta show up every night. We know teams are gonna give us their best. So.
Yeah, like Taylor said, teams playing Westfield is probably one of usually the biggest game of the year for them. So they come in here, they give us their best game, and we just got to prepare every week. We're going to be facing the best team that they can beat. So we definitely have to show up every Friday night and give it all we got. Just defender.
Now, Taylor, there's a word for guys like this, ball hawk. You're always around the ball. Is it luck? Is it preparation? Is it a combination of both?
It's definitely, I definitely say it's a lot of preparation, watching a lot of film defensively, and just offensively, you know, a strong job getting the ball.
Question: when did you start playing quarterback?
Well, I played flag football when I was 4, but I didn't play tackle until I was like 9. And when I started playing quarterback, I had a quarterback coach, trainer, Barry Thompson. He works at Flint Hill. He's a football coach over there, and his son's Miles Thompson. And I worked with him throughout summers, throughout the season, you know, just working on like fundamentals, footwork, like how to read defenses. And so I give a lot of my credit to him because he's the one who brought me up through the quarterback.
All right, guys, tell me about playing for Coach Simmons.
So Coach Simmons, you know, he's an interesting guy. He's a really good coach. You know, he's out there at practice. He really takes charge, commands. You know, he has his practice schedule down and making sure everybody's getting to where they need to be on time. So he keeps a lot of things in line for us and make sure it's not total chaos out there. So.
Yeah, he does a great job. I mean, he might not come off as the friendliest guy, but I mean that's not his job. He gets us prepared.
I think he's friendly. You said, look, you got yourself in trouble.
Oh, no, I mean,
he's like Coach Simmons is a jerk.
No, out on the football field, I mean, he's a scary guy. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, Coach Keating. Have you guys seen Coach Keating play basketball?
I'm stuck on this.
Yes, sir.
Is he good?
Yes.
Yes.
This is unbelievable. Are you saying that because you're scared of Coach Keating?
I'm not scared of Coach Keating. I mean, I give him a rocker his money every time I come play.
Oh, my phone is answering questions. All right, well, guys, we'll get you out of here. Congratulations again. 3 straight state championships.
Coach Simmons, back to back to back. Every year a team is different, obviously. What's different about this year's team from last year's team?
I think a few things different. I think for one, we had more guys who we played both ways, which has its own issues when it comes to practice and prep and things like that. I think we were a little smaller in some positions, not quite as deep, and certainly our special teams were much different without Brian Delaney back there kicking and punting the ball, and we really had to work through some growing pains there in our special teams.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot last year. That's a big advantage having a guy like that for you.
Yeah, he really can flip the field. He, as a coach and a play caller, makes some decisions much easier for you when you know that he's gonna boot the ball 40, 50, maybe 60 yards. There were coaches in our region who thought he could have been all-state, first-team all-state player of the year last year just because of what he could do. And you know that says something when it's coming from the opponent that you know he's kicking it out of the high school lights. You know you can't even find the ball; he kicks it so far and so high. So yeah, that was a big adjustment for us this year. We knew it was coming, but all in all, I thought we did a pretty good job without him, considering what we lost.
Yeah, well, 15-0 is
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Coach, you guys, it's really hard to go undefeated, obviously. You look back on some of the games that you guys played close. Was there a game this season? Was it the South County game you won 28-27 that, you know, you kind of knew how this team was going to perform the rest of the year?
No, I don't think that early on I had much of an idea. I think a game that stands out to me is the first game against Patriot. You know, we kind of jumped up on them early, thought we had the game pretty much put away, and they had a fourth quarter rally that really kind of got our attention. And I think it was also some of what we were hearing from the Patriot side after the game that, hey, we can play with these guys. And, you know, you win some football games sometimes because of who you are, you know. And that was a game where I think it kind of put a dent in our shield a little bit, and we kind of needed to regroup and say, okay, people are coming after you, and they feel like they can beat you, and what are you going to do about it?
Right.
And that's something that I feel like we've done well over the last 3 years is just keep getting better as the season goes and take those opportunities when somebody shows your weakness and get better from it. And I tell the kids all the time, I said, don't let the deodorant of winning cover up your stink, because just because you're winning doesn't mean you don't have things that you got to work on and get better at. And I think the kids have bought into that, and the coaching staff knows that, and that's what we work to do every week.
Now, I mean, you have your team, they're competitors, but obviously as a coach, you're a competitor too. How much does that fire you up when you hear somebody say, we can play with these guys?
Yeah, well, I think it's a true statement in high school football, especially, that anybody can play with anybody. I mean, it is high school football. You're depending on, 14, 15, 16-year-old kids to execute and get through a school day without, getting in trouble or breaking up with their girlfriend. Or, there's a lot of things that go into it, and I think you are beatable any day. And so it's a lot about managing all of that. Not only the coaches managing it with the kids, but the kids managing themselves and each other.
So one thing that we point out year after year is every time you guys come out of the halftime locker room, you're better than the other team. Talk about the adjustments, that process. It seems like every game, whether you guys play a bad first half or not, you always know you guys are going to be the better team come out in the second half.
Yeah, we feel that way also. We feel that if we can get into halftime within reach, we've got a good shot. And that comes with several things. I mean, I have a staff who's very knowledgeable and don't have big egos. We're willing to listen to one another, and not everybody has to have the answer. It's just, what's the answer that's going to help us win this football game? And then we got to communicate it to the kids. And they're receptive and bought into what our knowledge is and what we can do. And I think they listen and they want to execute the plan. They believe in us. So it's really a belief in one another and what we can accomplish together if we just all get on the same page.
But you brought up the staff. I mean, your staff is, you don't win back to back to back without having continuity and a great staff in place. Talk a little bit more about your staff and their ability.
Yeah, so, there's two of us that have been here since the school. Have been my O-line coach, Dan Keating, and myself. And, as new people have come in, we just don't hire people to hire people. They've got to be people that I feel can fit into our system and are people that I respect, and I think are going to do things the way that we want them to be done. And I've just been lucky to, every time we lose people, to be able to replace them with quality guys. And we added 6 new staff members to our varsity staff this year, and that's a huge number. But they were all quality people. I wasn't quite sure. When you have an influx of that number of people, you don't realize that, the dynamics are going to change drastically. And it wasn't too far into the summer, we did a camp together, and I was like, this is going to work out okay. Everybody got along. Everybody was on the same page. There were just those little things that we had to learn about one another. But that's part of growing and relationships. And it was a good time. It worked out well for us.
Are you looking for a PR guy? Because if I can get on staff, I feel like I should get a ring.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think sometimes we lose coaches because they get their ring and they're like, man, that was a lot of work, and I've got my ring, and I'm going to go sit at home now. But
that's a guarantee that would happen.
For sure. I'm one and done. Let's get back to Coach Keating. Now, Coach Keating's one of my favorite coaches.
Yeah.
He coached me in high school at Fairfax. We talked a little bit after one of the games about this basketball league you guys play in. I just cannot wrap my head around Coach Dan Keating being good at basketball.
He'll back you down to the hoop every time. Yeah? I mean, once you're trying to defend him down low, he'll hit the 3 from the outside.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's a good time. Saying that it's basketball is really not a true statement. We call it the black and blue league for a reason, and if you're calling fouls, then you'll get booed out of the gym.
What's the pregame? Do you have a routine that the coaches do? Is there like a certain meal, do you guys have a routine that you do prior to game?
I'd say the biggest routine is on Thursday after practice. I try to come to the kids with something motivational, something that's going to make them think. It's usually a handout of some type. There were a couple times I even came up with a song that we play in the stadium that they might not know. The last week it was "One is the Loneliest Number," and so we try to have fun with that. Then we have a meal on Thursdays as a team. Friday, the biggest ritual is there's a lot of work to get done, a lot of equipment to set up and prepare, but we do have a small meeting with the players, and then probably the biggest tradition is if we win, we go we go to church, which is a little place that we like to go hang out. That's actually near a church. We don't actually go to the church, but we call it church, and that's our kind of outlet after the game to celebrate as coaches. And we got to do it, well, really 14 times. We got home too late from Oscar Smith, but 14 opportunities to celebrate together, and that's pretty fun.
Are you guys won, what, 26 games in a row?
Is that what it is?
Every school next year, that's what it is. Every school that you play is going to be trying to break this streak. And you're going to get, you like to think that every team comes into a game playing their best, but once you get to this level of success, everyone's going to be playing their best game.
Yeah.
How does that change your coaching philosophy, or does it at all?
No, it doesn't change it. I just need them to realize that. We as coaches, I think, realize we're going to get everybody's best shot. And they need to understand that, because a lot of us have been in coaching for 25, 30 years, been part of the game a long time. So, you know, you have the experience of all of those situations where they're still young and, you know, they don't have that experience. And so we talk a lot about teams are going to give you their best shot. Now, that works to our advantage, too, in the sense that if you're getting quality games every week, that's just making you a better football team for the playoff run. You know, you talk about being undefeated, and that's nice and everything, but I've been undefeated and lost the last one. So the undefeated part, to me, it's nice, and you know everybody wants to win every game, but it's not the most important part. The most important part is when the playoffs roll around. Right. That's when we want to be at our best, and we don't want to turn our stuff in until the very end.
We talked a little bit before we got started here. There were some things that went on before the game there. There was a transfer that went in to Oscar Smith late in the year. John and I talked a lot about it. Couldn't believe that happened. But as the coach on the opposing side, what was that like for you?
Well, probably first of all is that's not really a topic of conversation with my team. Right. It's not something that's in our control. It's not something that we're going to allow to affect us as a team. It's a team sport. That's an individual. As a coach and an educator, I found it embarrassing that anybody would allow that to happen. I understand that maybe there's a loophole in the rules that allowed this kid to legally join the team in week 14, but that was not the right move, and somebody should have stepped in and said, this is not what should be done, this is not the right thing to do, this is not right for Oscar Smith, let alone, you know, the fairness of the game. And unfortunately that didn't happen, and I can't control that either. I just know how I would have handled that situation, and you know, I'm pretty sure the BHSL will take care of that loophole in the off season, but it was very unfortunate.
Embarrassing.
We knew how he took care of it.
We
won the third straight. So
you know how they did it. It still didn't work. Well, congratulations again. You guys do it the right way here. We call this championship high. You're going to run out of wall space for banners at some point. So.
We'll find some.
You'll find yes, great talk to you. You get a chance to talk to Coach Urbano. You guys exchanging congratulations on state championships.
I was at his championship game and enjoyed watching Flint Hill win the private school championship. And he and I were on the phone the next day after Oscar Smith, and he was congratulating me. And you know, Tom has done so much for me. He's mentored me so much, and I've learned a tremendous amount from him. And we still stay in touch and play golf, and I consider him a true friend.
Very cool. Man. I need new friends. I'm going to start hanging out with y'all.
I actually we stole a play or two from him in the Flint Hill game that I saw.
Is that right?
Got on the phone and got some advice from him on how to run it, and we used it in the Woodbridge game for a big game.
He's a great long snapper.
Yeah, if he can get down in that stance.
Coach, thank you so much. Congratulations and best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
That's awesome.
Very cool. Good stuff.
So congratulations again to those guys. Man, there's not much more to say about Coach Simmons.
It's just ridiculously impressive.
Yeah.
Ridiculously impressive. The guy, he's not letting you on the staff, that's for sure. There's not a chance.
We'll see.
Not a chance. But
I'll take a T-shirt at this point.
Noah Kim's dad.
Hey, brisket tacos.
I'm in. Yeah, whatever. I'm in.
Brisket tacos. I'm in.
He's got a custom-made smoker. I'm in.
Very good.
Yeah. questionable characters that he knows. We'll leave it at that.
Very questionable.
Yeah.
Tight T-shirts and all.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he used to borrow from me all the time. It's crazy.
That's so funny.
All right, so Friday night I got out to South Lakes.
Yep.
South Lakes girls, Madison girls. Refs, horrendous.
Yes, this is the Rob I missed.
Horrendous. One ref in particular, there was about 6 calls right in front of him. I mean, right in front of him that he refused to call. And I know, hey, refing's a tough job.
Sure.
I know that, but this is terrible. Both teams had to play against the refs. It was crazy. Like, it makes it hard to watch, and especially with girls basketball, I think there needs to be like a little bit of adjustment about how referees ref girls basketball. There's a lot of times you can't get a flow of a game going because there's just whistle after whistle after whistle.
Right.
Aria, thank you. She knows what I'm talking about. It's just you've got to start to ref it. You can't be calling these ticky-tack fouls all the time. Just let the players play. Let it go. Let the players get into the flow of a game.
Right.
Sarah Conforti for Madison, she's tough.
Yeah.
She's tough. She plays down low for them. She can block. She can score. She got great footwork. She's tough. South Lakes. First of all, watching the 2 coaches, that's almost a show in itself.
Is that
when you
right?
watch the Madison South Lakes coaches, it's great. But Maddie Young for South Lakes, she was tremendous all game. I mean, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and she looked like the best player on the floor the entire game. It was really impressive to watch her and the way she worked through that game. It got tight. It got probably like it ended at 4. South Lakes holds on, goes on to win by 4. Low scoring game, but it's low scoring because the refs just controlled the game the whole time.
Right.
You got to let them play a little bit more. Man, I got to stop before I just crush this poor guy.
Okay.
Yeah, goes on 4-point game. South Lakes wins. Watch out, they're tough. They got a good squad. Both squads, they're tough.
Now, interesting game. Loudoun Valley played Battlefield.
Loudoun Valley is the best team. I don't care who you took. They're the best team in the area. 4A, 5A, 6A, I don't care what it is. They're the best team.
They're awfully good.
They played Battlefield. Close game. I think it's a 1 point. I think Battlefield had a 1-point lead with a couple of seconds left. You can't leave Dominic Peterson out at the 3-point line by himself.
No, you can't.
You've seen enough times that you can't leave that guy down on the 3-point line by himself. They did it. They collapsed inside, kick it out to him. He hits the 3 to win the game.
It's crazy.
It is. It is. It's a great game, though.
You know, there's some people in this building that are going to have something to say about you saying Loudoun Valley's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm right. I'm right. Loudoun Valley's the best.
We shall see. We shall see. Fun week, man. I love Westfield High School. It's
great
here. Yeah.
It's awesome.
We'll be at some games this week. Put some polls out.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Why not?
Yeah.
I want to go see Loudoun Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to find out what that Chinese building is.
To Woodgrove?
Yeah. No one's telling me.
That's secret.
It's secret. For Rob, I'm John. Check your local listings. Comcast.
Everywhere.
Verizon.
Everywhere.
You can see the show all over the place.
Everywhere.
Wednesday nights. Always on RubberRunSports.com.
John Becerra, Aria Towns.
Thank you.
Holding it down.
We can run that 400 together.
I'll be there.
Let's do it. All right, we'll see you next week.
Somebody sponsor that.
Someone should sponsor that. American Cardiology.
There will be paramedics on hand.